Hey everybody, this is Zips from Total Gaming Network and CS Nation. Here we are, doing something a little bit different today. I'm taking a break from Mad Max because it's soul-sucking, tedious. Blah. So here we are at the Beginner's Guide. This is a game from the studio that brought us the Stanley Parable, and I'm going to leave a link if you're watching this on YouTube. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description below. It's on Steam. In fact, let me bring up the Steam overlay here, and we can check out the store page for it. If I can, get my head into this, and I'll just view Community Hub real quick, and I'll get me to the store page. It's currently on sale for $7.99. That's 20% off, so it's normally $9.99. And it's a bit different from the Stanley Parable. If you're going to be watching this, expecting it to be, full of wit and humor, you might be a little bit disappointed. So let's start this, and this is the Beginner's Guide. Oh, audio is on. Thank you, game. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay, then. Oh. Alright.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift to structure immediately.
This game is called Escape from Whisper. and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I don't have a use button until they shoot. Everything shoots.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized.
Oh.
Begin shoot evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Yeah, gotta love skyboxes.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it. Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh no. That really was a labyrinth.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind. Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
The past was behind her.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Okay. Let's see what's over by these gaps here. Oh, it just goes down into nothingness. Okay. Actually, what the hell is that? 3 black dots there. That's weird. Okay. Excuse me. How will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. That was interesting. You are now entering. Can't really go left or right here.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Alright.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself. A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games. Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Wow. Hopefully you guys can actually read these alright, because I would not have had time to read that as he was narrating. Ready, set, fish. I like fishing. Not real fishing. I've played fishing games before. Some of them are enjoyable. They're not too complicated. I like those little handheld fishing games. Ones where you can actually, like, flick your wrist and stuff like that. I'm not talking about, like, Wii or Wii U fishing games or anything. But, like, this little,
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
These actual handheld, like, tire electronic type fishing games. They used to be, like, a big rage back in the day.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
There's just 3 black dots again. Saw this in the other puzzle. Or the other game. Interesting lighting and texture
So
work.
that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Oh, what the hell?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same. is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
The music got real loud. Oh, we're back in this. So it said you are now entering, or you're now exiting.
So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
March 2009. Okay. The Great and Lovely Descent. Okay.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Okay. Yeah, I know that.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I don't know if there's fall damage. I'm kinda... Oh! No, maybe there isn't. But you know what? We're gonna take this nice and slow anyway. Yeah? Yeah. Oh. This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
This, music and ambient noise, whatever it is, that's thumping in my ears is really kind of weird. It's like I can feel my own heartbeat. The headphones that I'm using. Was this like a dog kennel type thing here? Or no, maybe not.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly. Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there was these floating colored blocks. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes. Perfect. Please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Why can't I just tell them? Where's that option? Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is nothing I want more. Okay. Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle we had to pass through? Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? When I care about the space between the doors, actually now that you've mentioned it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. I don't recall a space between the doors. I don't actually, it just kind of happened. There wasn't any... Don't worry, I'm sure you'll visit again soon. Be sure to pay close attention. Okay, black space between doors. Maybe that... Nope, that was... This is...
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
That's weird. Crazy. Okay. Is it this? Nope.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. April 2009. Man, this guy's pretty quick at churning out games, too. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. Starksels! All notes you see are left by other players. Starksels. Oh. How can I leave a note? I want to leave a note. Can I leave a note? No? Okay. Nice room! Not! Oh, dude, total sick burn.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Jesus, look at all those dialogue nodes. Hello! Reasonable.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Balls. Yeah, I hear that, man.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
That one's talking about how Majestic Penguin almost caused him to rip his eyes out. I would like it when I could. You feel like a hero yet? A world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer, you will believe blue speech bubbles can't talk. It's a good one. Cool cavern, bro. We're out of space. Soon we will suffocate. I don't know how I can get the ones on the bridge there unless I fell from the other... from that thing up there, but then again, how would I get back? I guess I could drop down from there then. You guys want to do that? You guys... yeah, fuck it. No one's here. I get to decide. It's my playthrough. Let's do it. I wish I could sprint, though. hitting different buttons. Not really working. Okay. Oh, God. Then there's some up there. Oh, that one wraps around. All right. Can we make this? You think we can make this? Oh, no. Oh, it's blocked off. What? But how do we get there? How do we get anywhere? I mean, that's pretty cool, though, that he had the time to put in the, was it the blocking volumes or whatever they call them? What the shit is this cavern? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can assure you, guaranteed, there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Alright. Oh, it seems like I can jump down there. I want to see those. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. That's actually pretty sad, I'm sorry. I refuse to believe. Butt, ass, butt. Good old BAB. I need to go to the freaking bathroom. Recognize me, please. I guess all of those just remain a mystery then out there, unless this circles around to them. Something here, go back. Don't listen to that guy. That sounds... God, it is like I'm playing Dark Souls. A free t-shirt! Makes game. Includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Interesting. Need other side. Door. Why use so? Or how open? Someday I will meet the person who made this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. I'm going to stop reading these here in about a second. Well, I mean, out loud, at least. They're the chimes that keep you going, don't they? What chimes? Next time I would do better. I need someone to talk to. Like, half of these are just really depressing ones. About how lonely this person is. You just... I don't know. Alright, let's take a look at these over here first. Day I learned you cannot fall off. Okay. Ethical. Lights dimmed for a second there. I was moderately concerned I had put a stop to the game already before we read all these. Well done, all of you. Good job, kudos. There's a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. How creepy would that be if they actually showed someone else like walking around down there or some shit? About how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Stop pretending you were other people. Suppose it doesn't mean anything. It's a pretty cool painting. I kind of like it. Colorful. Full of balls. Cabbage shapes our nation. You again? I saw you upstairs. Yeah, it is just dots. I'm doing that squinting thing where I'm trying to like, okay, is there anything I can see there? Maybe that's a horse? No, I don't know. Art. Roommate that says issues. Painting. What does it mean? Who are all of you? You are the same person. Devil Tower Star. Devil Tower Star. It's the second time I've seen that too. He was himself the most horrible creature you could imagine. This guy is got a few issues. Maybe I'll feel real someday. I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
I don't like the geometry in this room. That's cool.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Hey, someone made it. Of course, it's the developer, because he made the game and he made all the speech bubbles. Speak? I'm speaking! What do you want from me? What the fuck? Porn
Okay, this one
stars
is
die
tough.
too.
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Ooh. Ooh, that's cool. Okay.
See, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Oh, fuck it. Put a giant hole in the ground. Oh, that. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? 10 stoves lined up along the wall. Oh. I think we should light up this room a bit. Skylight, full ceiling below. Or full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. The 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. We'll put live Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah! Yeah, we are. Oh, I hit 2. It doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to really do anything anyway. And a table! You need a table. Tables were invented in 1935. Yeah. I thought we already had a table down.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello. Please walk forward. Fuck you, I'm walking backwards. I can't walk backwards. Alright. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. And nothing behind me. First, click on this table. Click it. Okay. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click it to turn it slightly. Alright. Just a moment. I want to see what... Those fucking dots again, man. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a little. Hey, 52 William. What's up? I'm gonna move it just a little. Finally touch the shelves. Alright. Oh, that's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. Oh.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Naturally.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. This is called The Beginner's Guide. It's made by the people who made the Stanley Parable game. It's not meant... There is some bits of humor in this, but it's not like in your face like the Stanley Parable. It's supposed to be more of like a sort of introspective sort of game. And I heard it was really good, and I wanted to play it today instead of playing Mad Max, which I didn't want to play that again today. I might go back to Mad Max tomorrow though, but yeah, I really wanted to try this out. And so I wanted to play it, I figured I might as well stream it. It's okay, you don't mind? Cool. Oh. Alright. Hello, who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze. Yep,
It's
I was
a
in
conversation.
escape tutorial.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
That's where I am right now. I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in prison was like. It's strange, but in a way I kind of miss being in the prison. It feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. Really? How long has it been since you got out? Only a few minutes. But this is the worst, most desperate thing I've ever been through. How could you possibly forget it? You don't ever forget it, you just stop identifying with it. Anything can seem infinite when you're drenched in it, yeah? If you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? And can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just... That will free me? How does that work? Sincere about what? That is a good question. Oh. It's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
I should also mention, this game is basically a collection of games made by a person named Coda. And the narrator is Coda's friend. The narrator is also actually the person who created the Stanley Parable. He is speaking as himself, talking about his friend Coda that made all these games. And he's trying to have you, the player, figure out who Coda is. Basically, what kind of a person is Coda? And just by playing his games. There's gonna be times where you might disconnect the whole other side of my house from this room. Alright, I understand. I should still be here. I'm not sure how long this game is. I heard it's a couple hours. I've been going for about an hour now, so you got some time, man. You got some time. I'll be around. I'll be around.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Okay, let's go in here then. This looks cozy. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as heck that you all showed up. Thought I might be having... Oh, there's a person there. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you can do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Okay. Done. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Oh, over there. While you're in there, why don't you straighten up the rug a bit? All the little details matter. Okay, sure. I don't have a reflection. Oh, I could actually just have gone back here. Cool. Alright, rug straight. Sort of. Like, everything's... everything crooked. Maybe that's just how the room is. Is it? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. This line of work, you get a lot of judgments you get past it. You let go of those judgments pretty fast. May not be your apartment, but something in your life needs straightening up. You think you've got nothing that needs cleaning, but careful. Be careful, because that means everything. At any rate, my place is just to see a bit of peace brought here. Speaking of which, the pillows on this couch are a wreck. Could you come out and straighten them up? I don't know why I had such a difficult time reading that. Okay, pillows. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there? Sure. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Just make it dangerously cheesy. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Sure. Last I checked, the tub needs a cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? No need to be perfect. We're all just human. Sure. Okay. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Alright. Nice. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear those dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Maid Service Simulator 2015? Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, are all houses this easy to clean? Darling, let me tell you something. In your lifetime, you're going to clean a lot of houses, and among all of those, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences, and none of them will be the ones that were easy. Just something to think about while you smooth out the rug in the bedroom.
I really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Sure. Was this guy dating someone at this time, then, when he made this one? Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Heh. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I mean... I get it, that's a weird thing to say something. No, I agree. There's a bit of truth to it, There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway. So... housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Sure. Yeah, I'll go clean up the books. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real
I'm
mess.
glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
What if I didn't? What if I just stopped right here? Then it's kind of dark right here. It's the darkest spot right here. Am I gonna die? Yeah. Okay. That was weird. Interesting, but weird. Ah, it's the lamp again.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Game from September 2009. Items you love at
This one
members
gets a
only
bit goofy.
prices. What? Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. The workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
What the fuck?
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Thanks. I would have just stood there if you didn't tell me. Kids should not follow their dreams. So the line they want me to say is the highlighted one. Well, let me tell you right now, it isn't effortless. Then it's not the. If it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. Thank goodness all you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions to your life, you're not doing it right. Woo! Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Ooh. Ew, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. Actually, let's go with the line on that one. Hahaha, just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? Alright, we're doing that line. What if I'm not a good teacher? Holy shit, you guys, something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone run, run.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
January 2010. Alright, we're getting to... Oh, same couches and shelves again. Okay.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Oh, it's pretty elaborate setup we got here. All right, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are the gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. All right. Nailed it. Staying right here. One across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Here are all of my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. Should I go up to her? Am I supposed to go up there? I thought this was a move from that wall. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I bet you've learned to lean into the pain. That's What are some sacrifices you've had to make? Yeah, let's go with 1 on that one. You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Yeah, that's cool. Am I far enough away? Alright, let's keep going. Okay. Alright, let's keep going then.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010. Too duty for you. Mobius Trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Huh. What the fuck? My eyes are not closed, by the way. Although I can... Oh, shit. There's that door again. What? What the fuck?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Truth! There's the only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these. Huh.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Koda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Jeez, December 2010. Maybe we'll have a Christmas-themed game. Yeah? Oh. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. You have to take me to it. I need to see it to know why it stopped. Let's go with that one. I could take you to it, but there's a
last
problem.
game featured Koda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
I actually selected 3 there, saying how it doesn't matter what I selected, we're going to end up there anyway. Alright, we're going to go find this machine. Perfect. Come along, I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
I've solved this puzzle before. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First, you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Just press the switch here. Ha! That was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
These are just words on some walls. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous, and that you love it 100% of the time. Alright. That feels wonderful. Making games is simple. It's not true. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy. It never stops being easy.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Never stop creating, you'll never feel bad. Perfect. That feels
This is someone
fantastic.
I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
None of this is helping. Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please, continue. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. That's... Yes, more.
I don't
Keep
know.
going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
There is no shame, no
I wanted
fear,
it
no
to
guilt.
stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Incredible. That's it. I'm free. Who was that?
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
May 2011. That last one wasn't Christmas themed at all. It's far from Christmas. The Machine. Oh. Alright. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You get an interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quiet. I intend to be brutal. And be quick. Be brutal. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Please, no questions. No questions. No questions. You're still asking questions.
And of course, it's the machine.
It was only because of your creations any of us could make it through every day. How could you possibly go back to trusting to do this job? Here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit the people that you were allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. No? Nothing? Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I've seen the thing you fear. My royal subjects! It falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation! That's the ticket right there, number 2. Sheen will not apologize to us. We'll go through 2 on that one. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will need to find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. We don't. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. Follow me. We will destroy everything the machine has created. Two. We're going with 2. Back. Oh. Make sure your work dies here, Coda. See you in hell, robot.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh, shit!
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Down your weapon. Fuck
Can
you!
you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
The Tower. I don't like where this is going.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
I wonder if it's possible to beat... I mean... Alright, fuck it. Fuck it. I get it. I understand. I'm sure there is an actual pathway through that maze. Like, I guarantee that there is, because there was one through the previous maze. But, that's a really long thing to try and figure out. Unless there was some clue somewhere. But,
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
how in God's name would you have guessed this? 151617. 6 1 ah Okay. Oh, this is different. Cool. Right, up we go then. And then down we go, I guess. Okay.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Exactly. What the hell are those 3 dots? I've seen this so many times now. Oh, there's a...
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped.
I like that
and
view.
left. And it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Wow.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself. And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Hmm.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself. That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Welcome to City 17. Ooh.
Solution.
Whoa.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
That's entirely possible.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. if I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on right now in here. But I am compelled to walk through these arches. Okay. Excuse me. Did not mean to cough so close to the mic. I could not get away fast enough. Heading towards the lights. Oh, is this the same thing from the first game that, Coda made? Beam. Certainly looks like it, huh? Now the question is, do we die or do we go up when we step in here? So there's only one way to find out. Go up. It's pretty good. Oh. Like that too. Thinking that's the end. Yes. 4R.
Turn back from this cave.
I'll turn that down a little bit. I'm not gonna really say what I interpreted that to be. I have an idea. This project would not have been possible without the following individuals. I'm not going to share my thoughts on that with you guys. If you're watching this, make up your own interpretations. I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know. It was different. It's definitely different. It took a little under 2 hours. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description below where you can check this out for yourself. Maybe there are different options, different things you can do. I'm not sure. So, yeah, that was good. It was really good. I'm a fan. I would like to say I'm a fan of this developer's work. You know, between Stanley Parable and now this, quite enjoyable, and two vastly different games, it seems like. So, oh, there's chapter select. I just realized this. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So if you ever want to go back and play any of them, you can. Very neat, and the lamp there too. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's my stream for the day. I'll probably sadly be back with Mad Max tomorrow. We'll probably make it a little bit of a longer stream tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be up. I slept through my alarm today, which is why I got started so late. I got started so late today, and I decided to play this instead. So, hopefully normal time tomorrow. So around noon, 1 p.m. Eastern time, do a bunch of Mad Max. See if maybe we can beat that game, or, you know, get close to beating that game. I don't know how much more I have in that game, to be honest with you. That's a rough one. But, yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I need to go get some food and, you know, actually start my day at 4 p.m. So, yeah, that's that. That's the beginner's guide. It's on Steam for like, 8 or 10 bucks right now. So yeah, and thank you, William. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by and chatting. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow if you want to stop by. Sunday. It should be Sunday then. Yeah. All right. Food time. Woo! See you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. This has been Zips. I run a website, Total Gaming Network. I run a YouTube, D-Zips. I run a Twitch, Digital Zips, and I run a Twitter, S-Zips. You can find information there on my Twitter if I cancel or have to cancel for the day. I honestly try to keep that updated. I really do. It's not always the easiest thing, though. But, yeah. Alright, I'm out. See ya.